Hello everyone. Okay, so I just wanted to share with you another bone broth a way to do bone broth. So the other night we cooked 2 chickens. So I do 2 chickens, whole chickens, because I send some to work with my husband and I like to have leftovers. So for this recipe we actually did 2. Now this is all a bunch of celery right here, and so here is our chicken carcasses. Now as you can see, we just kind of left them stuffed. I have the lemon, the garlic, the sage, thyme, rosemary, herbs. This was stuffed in the cavity, and so there was a bone somebody ate off of, and so there's 2 of them in there. And yeah, I know there's some of it's got a little meat left on it, which was, you know, we probably could have done a little bit better carving it and like really gnawing at the bone, but we didn't. So I'm going to, I guess we're not very precise because we live a very, I would say, busy life like most people, and so I'm not going to take those extra time and then try to come up with extra herbs to season it. Listen guys, take the whole thing, put it in your crock pot. I had extra celery leaves left over from our stuffing that I had made. So I'm just going to stuff that in there, right? Put the top on. And then I'm going to, got stuff everywhere. We're actually in the laundry room. This is like my pantry laundry room. It's like a little bit crazy because again, we're still kind of moving in, unpacking and everything. So we're just going to take this. I'm gonna, plug it in because I did not plug it in before, and then we're going to do, I'm gonna do hot or high for 10 hours, and then I'll do low for 10 hours. And then I will try to check the progress. Sometimes I need to add a little more water. Sometimes I'll cook it longer. We'll just kind of have to see how it works, how the bones are doing, if it's breaking down, if the marrow's out, all of that stuff. And then I will take it, I'll strain out the vegetables, strain everything out, and then I will bottle it up, put it in the refrigerator for future use. So let's see. Here is what we'll do, and then I will show you the progress. Okay guys, so let's give a look at the bone broth. Alright, so let's talk about what I did. So I let this sit in a crock pot for, I believe, 36 hours. Half of that was on high and half of that was on low. And then I dumped it out, or I strained it, I guess. So I used a strainer and a bowl. The bowl catched all of the liquids and the strainer captured all of the big chunks. And then, as you can see, there's nothing in here. Actually, should only be bones, because then I picked out the bones from like the lemon and the celery and all the onions and things like that. And then I added just the bones in here, and as you can see, some of the skin has come off as well, but let's see if we can grab a little guy here. I'll put my hand. Okay, so there's some bones there. You can see at the very bottom there's some bones. See, now they're like super brittle. Let's see if I can do this. What? Okay, like that. So I mean, this right here, this part is kind of what we're wanting to get in here. And as you can see, the goodness. Now, after I strained it and I put it back in here with the bones, I did add more water. So, filled it up, let it sit for another 12 hours on on low. And now we're just going to strain it and bottle it. But yeah, like the stuff looks amazing. It smells so good too. I think that it's going to be very delicious because I said it came out of 2 that we made for dinner. It was a lemon chicken. You guys, you know how I'd like to have a ferret? What did you get into, Bandit? Oh, well, that's nice. So he opened up the drawer and he took out the flowers to have a fun party, it looks like. Bandit bandy, bandy, bandy. All right, so I'm gonna clean this up first and clean up my ferret that just wants to dig. He digs in my plants. We have a big box of rice for him to dig in, and he loves it, but obviously he wanted to dig in something else. And I guess it's good, thank you, Bandit, because we needed to get rid of that flour anyway, because we are starting our 5 strands restrictions. So that's gonna be fun. Interesting, because I have to recreate so many recipes with a small variety of food. And we're only going to do this for about 3 weeks, and then we're going to start reintroducing food to see how we react. Some people can do 2 weeks, some people can do 4, some people may need like 2 full months to get everything out of their bodies. We eat pretty clean, so I'm not worried about that. Anyways, off on a tangent again, because that's what it's like being a dyslexic, is our minds are all over the place and everything relates to everything. Like I'm such a big world thinker that it's so hard to just see one thing as one, like I don't understand that concept. Like, oh, this only relates to one thing. And I'm like, no, it relates to like 1,000. And so I tend to, and most dyslexics tend to like start off on this really long talks. And that's one thing about dyslexics. Some can tell a story, and with training, you can definitely tell a story. But others, I have the training. I know how to tell a story from the beginning to the end. But then I just want to talk about things. So I could do it if I really had to. I don't really like to, because I like to think about the world, and it's just so big, and we can't just, I just can't just focus on that one thing. So anyways, that was your bone broth. How to do it quickly in your crock pot with leftover meal, and a little bit about everything else in my life. All right, guys, see you next time.